Let's keep trying to complete the square to solve these trinomials, these quadratic trinomials, because practice is going to help us get a little bit closer to perfect. I'm going to keep my quadratic and my linear term on one side of the equation. I have a leading coefficient for x squared, so I know that I'm going to have to factor out that -2. So when I move 9 to the right side, I'm not leaving any room yet to complete the square because there's a step in there that I have to take care of first. I'm going to factor out the -2 from those two terms, x squared plus 6x, and now I can leave room to complete the square, equals 9. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. -2 times 9 is -18. So -18 on the left, -18 on the right. Now I have -2 times the quantity, x plus 3 quantity squared equals -9. I'm going to divide both sides by -2 to isolate that binomial squared. That gives me x plus 3 quantity squared equals 9 over 2. We keep fractions. We square root both sides. X plus 3 equals plus or minus 3 over the square root of 2. We're going to rationalize that denominator by multiplying by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. So we'll get plus or minus 3 times the square root of 2 over 2. So x plus 3 equals positive 3 times the square root of 2 over 2, and x plus 3 equals -3 square root of 2 over 2. When I subtract 3 from both sides, we get -3 plus 3 times the square root of 2 over 2, and we get -3 minus the square root of 3 over 2. And those are our two answers. Here's one more to solve. If you'd like to try this one, I encourage you to do so. I'm going to start it out right here. So if you want to try it, press pause. So welcome back. We're solving. We're going to factor out our 5, which is going to allow us to now complete the square. I'm going to leave a little bit of room here because I've got that number on the outside of the parentheses, so I have to take that into consideration. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Therefore, I'm going to add 20 to the other side. So we've got 5 times the quantity, x plus 2 quantity squared equals -12. Divide both sides by 5. And it looks like we have an imaginary number. And the reason we know that is because when we square root both sides, we're going to have that negative on the inside. So we've got x plus 2 equals plus or minus. Don't forget, when you square root both sides, you have plus or minus. And then I'm going to take the I out, and then I've got the square root of 12 over the square root of 5. This is going to be a little bit labor intensive. We're going to multiply by the square root of 5 over the square root of 5. So we get x plus 2 equals plus or minus. Looks like the square root of 60 over 5. And then we've got that I. I like to put the I in the front, but some people will put it in the back now. I'm going to rewrite it. X plus 2 equals plus or minus I times the square root of 60 over 5. Now this square root of 60, that breaks down. So 2 goes into 60 30 times. 2 goes into 30 15 times. And then we have a 3 and a 5. So that breaks down to be 2 times the square root of 15. X plus 2 equals plus or minus 2I times the square root of 15 all over 5. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. x equals negative 2 plus or minus 2I times the square root of 15 over 5. So x equals negative 2 plus 2I times the square root of 15 over 5, and negative 2 minus 2I times the square root of 15 over 5. And it shouldn't get any more challenging than that.